Hey everyone. So it's arrived a day sooner than I expected, and amusingly, it took like 3 tries to get it installed on my console, 2 of which were full clean installs. But it finally worked on third time, and now that I've beaten both the main story campaign as well as tried a few characters in arcade mode. Let's talk about Tekken 8. I was a long time fan of this. I definitely was always going to be prioritizing this once I got a PS5 finally. And I'm glad to say that with the recent announcement of Katsuhiro Harada retiring from the franchise and from the company as a whole, I think it was a good one for him to go out on. So let's begin. So, picking up where the last game left off and the resolution of the, that storyline that has been going on with Heihachi and Kazuya, this one ends up resolving a similar storyline with Kazuya and Jin, and which not only centers around them, but also in the process addresses the my major issue with the last game. The gameplay was good, but I didn't really care about some random detective didn't even have a name, let alone own own a face, man. As much as the other conflicts, man. And I gotta say, I also really enjoy from a gameplay perspective how they managed to keep iterating upon what they've done before, and even though I've yet to venture into the online modes. I gotta say the heat gauge is definitely something I enjoy the most by playing with and how it can turn the tide of battle, man. That also applies to some of the new characters introduced to the fray. Hey, the a couple of which I have enjoyed rotation. One, of course, being Reina Mishima, a genetic clone that's partially made with Heihachi's DNA, has a similar playstyle but is a bit quicker. You're going to play with her a bit, as well as the coffee magnate Azucena, especially enjoy a good brew as much as I do a good dealing out a good beating. And of course, it is visually stunning. They're really making the most out of at least what Unreal they have here. There is some slight bit of judder in some of the cutscenes, but on the whole, it has not affected the gameplay, I would say. And even though I will admit the once again the monetization is something that is obviously keeping me from recommending the game more. It's definitely worth playing, and I can already tell that if and when we get a ninth main game, it is going to be very different with the storylines I've been building ever since the original installments in arcades and on PS1 having resolved, and with the main creative force behind the franchise from day one on having moved on. Um, but I will say, hey, that it is certainly a always something I can remember with him doing that reveal at Game Awards that year, like him looking like a very powerful Kringle, as if to say, Merry Christmas. Now get ready for the next battle. So, depending on my mood, you might get a introduction to my Pokemon Horizons reviews tomorrow. You might not. To me, I definitely will be at at the most a month before I formally start the reviews in February, especially since it's got another piece of information that suggests that they're going to be moving towards ending in Horizons as soon this year and potentially replacing it with a different anime. Hey, I will definitely. I'm not surprised it's potentially happening. I certainly will not be surprised if that's what ends up being the case. Anyway, all I gotta say for now. If you want to play, hey, my PSN is the same for the PS5 as well as on PS4. And I will see you again later. Take care. Mm.